think about it this way. Worldwide, there are nearly 2 billion people who are younger than 15 years old. In the Middle East, that includes 3 out of every 10 people. In parts of Africa, such as Niger and Somalia, the DRC, roughly half the population is under 15. It matters to all of us whether these kids are going to be able to access education, have a job, find an opportunity that enables them to be able to contribute to their community in beneficial ways. It matters because today's globalized economy sees a connection, an intimate connection, in fact, between how we each do and how we all do. Partly because from a moral standpoint, giving young people a chance to succeed is simply the right thing to do. But guess what? It also matters because these young people are essentially swing voters in the fight against violent extremism. We need them to make wise choices. And yet, that is a lot less likely if they grow up without faith in government, without an education, without the chance for a better life. And that means that governments have to break down barriers to innovation. It means making it easier to start up a business. It means improving the climate for foreign investment. It means streamlining bureaucracies and preventing military cronies from crowding out private enterprise. It means giving women and girls an equal chance to compete in the classroom and in the workplace. And this is the only way we are going to meet the needs of the modern world. Plain and simple. It also means making the fight against corruption a global security priority of the first order. Bribery, fraud, other forms of venality feed organized crime. Those are your narcotics traffickers, those are your arms traffickers, and those are often the greatest links to terrorist networks. They contribute to human trafficking, discourage honest and accountable investment. They undermine entire communities. Now, I don't have any illusions. I used to be a prosecutor. I understand that corruption is as old as government itself. Every nation, including mine, the United States, has wrestled at some point, to a greater or lesser degree, with corruption of one point or another. But today, the cost of corruption globally is exploding. And it's exploding everywhere. In the Middle East, a recent survey found that fully 1/3 of citizens had to pay a bribe in order to get a supposedly free government service. In Ukraine, under the previous government, corrupt governance helped trigger an international crisis, and we're still engaged in it. In Cameroon, a senior inspector of police was arrested for selling local ID cards to Boko Haram, to the militants coming in from Nigeria. And just last week in Pakistan, officers seized currency and gold worth nearly $6.5 million from the home of a senior official in Balochistan province. Now, the good news is that more and more citizens around the world are saying no to this runaway corruption. We saw this in Guatemala City last year, when thousands of citizens gathered in the central square every Sunday, rain or shine, to protest the venality that they knew was taking place at the highest levels of their government. And with the help of some courageous national prosecutors, they exposed a sitting vice president and then a sitting president. And they put their country's political leaders on notice for many years to come. Tomorrow, I will have the privilege of attending Prime Minister Cameron's Anti-Corruption Summit in London. And we're going to discuss the various ways that the international community can help citizens of the world to address this challenge. For our part, just last week, President Obama proposed new legislation that would, for the first time, require all 50 states to collect information on shell companies for law enforcement to be able to use, and shed greater light on real estate transactions in cities like Miami or New York, which are used too often to shelter illicit funds. And we have to stop and ask on an international basis how it is that a bunch of generals in a country like Nigeria, which had happened previously, and the new president has run against all of this, and we're working with him now to change it. But Nigeria saw tens of billions of dollars taken out of the country. Those were schools. Those were health care. Those were infrastructure. There was new jobs hidden in bank accounts around the world. Over the last 4 years, U.S. foreign assistance for anti-corruption programs has more than doubled. And today we're working in dozens of countries to help build online automated business registries, which will reduce both the red tape and the opportunities for graft, to hold people up for the bribe. We're also expanding programs that send American judges overseas to share best practices. And we're developing better intelligence on kleptocrats and their networks in order to deny bad actors the profits from graft and more. Now, I will have more to say about this at tomorrow's summit, but for now, let me just underscore, despite recent progress as a global community, we just are not doing nearly enough to eliminate this scourge. And that needs to change if we're going to have a chance of addressing the concerns of those 2 billion young people. Because we all pay for it. You pay for it. We pay for it. Corruption costs the global economy about $2.6 trillion a year. That's $2.6 trillion that be going towards the infrastructure, towards healthcare, towards education, towards food security initiatives, or any number of areas where additional funding is desperately needed. You can buy a lot with $2.6 trillion. In fact, that's about 10 times the total amount the international community spends each year on all development assistance. Think of the difference we could make.